What's going on, family? Right here back on the 3-on-3 pod, and I am in denial. Reportedly, the people say that NBC, they're trying to get the NBA broadcasting rights from TNT. And we all know what's on TNT inside the NBA. Shaq, Chuck, Ernie, Kenny. I can imagine not seeing Kenny run up and trip up those stairs on his way to the board. For me, as I mentioned, you all, I am in denial. I believe that a God's going to work a miracle if this does happen, and we are going to see our uncles still at that table somehow. But the reality is it possibly will be different. And with that said, I want to get you guys' thoughts. And Terrika, I'll go to you first. And also, if inside the NBA goes bye-bye, who would you put in the chairs?
Now, that's a very great question, Sharí. I too hope that inside the NBA sticks around because I don't want to see Charles Barkley on another CNN show.
Guaranteed.
Y'all remember the CNN show? Because if you don't,
that's
I forgot it on purpose.
Selective,
I try to forget it.
Not memory. I don't ever want to even think. It never existed in my mind.
It never happened. With that said, I do hope these guys continue to be voices in the NBA space because they are so fun to watch. Yeah. However, if somebody has got to take their spot on the new show or whatever network it is that they're on. I know a girl named Sharí Nycole. I know a guy named Chris Williamson, and I know a girl named Terrika Foster-Brasby who run a podcast / show called the 3-on-3 podcast, and they would be willing and available to take those spots. That's all I'm saying. That's all I mean.
Agreed.
Just throwing it out there, And I'm so serious.
Me too. I love it. I love that idea.
So serious.
You have to advocate for yourself. Do not be humble, okay?
You cannot.
We done been through way too much as Black people, right? In our experience.
My homeboy Shaquille O'Neal said on his Instagram the other day, and I 100% agree with it. I'm humble enough to know I can be replaced, but I'm wise enough to know ain't nobody like me.
My goodness.
That is a word.
That. I'm going to steal that.
That is a word. Shaq be saying a lot. Sometimes it don't make sense, but that one right there.
Sometimes I don't understand it all the time, but I love him.
That one.
Smart. He's very smart. That's the thing. People are asleep on Shaq. And he's a marketing genius, but I digress. Sorry, Chris.
Hey, man. I really, the idea of inside the NBA as we know it not being around after next year would be so devastating because they bring a brand of authenticity and chemistry that nobody can match on television, on linear networks. Like the other platforms, cool, whatever, but it's just, like you said, you're watching your uncles where they say stupid shit, right? And then they say hilarious shit. And then they actually have sometimes really informed takes about the actual basketball game that is being played because we know they're not known for their high level analysis. It's more so about everything around it and the humor that they bring and the guests that they put on, right? Music guests, rappers, singers, you name it, actors. So I really hope that we're able to get some form of a package, even if it's not the major one, perhaps the C package, or they're still able to have some games and maybe, conference finals. Because everything else is bland.
I'm with you, Chris. I wanted to add to that too. I mean, as we talk about just from a talent perspective, how strong this show is and how culturally relevant it is. I'm sure the producers in us say, man, their production team was a paradigm shift in sports coverage that we had not seen prior to. So I have to shout out all the producers on that show and how they revolutionized the way not only we view sports, but how it's covered. And, infusing comedy and just being incredibly creative, not only with their talent, but with the sports stories. That to me, beyond just, Ernie and Shaq and Kenny and Charles, that's the most charming piece to the show for me. And I don't know if it's the producer in me that it resonates with, but we've yet to see anything like it, and we hadn't seen anything prior to. So if this show sadly dissolves in some way, I hope that whatever show comes behind it whatever production crew or talent comes behind it, they just take the baton and continue to run with what's already been sown, because that's good rooted content and execution. And if we see something in line with that, I think that if there is a transition, it'll be a lot more seamless and people won't feel as much like, oh my God, they're gone. It's like, oh, they've moved on, but we still got the essence of what this feels like still here. So that's my hope.
That makes tons of sense. Well, we got love for y'all at TNT and love for the show inside the NBA. And if this is the last we're going to hear of barbecue chicken, then I think it's time for us to go fishing.
Barbecue chicken. Hold up. Before we get there. Hold up. You speaking about barbecue chicken.
We're the only ones that get to go fishing and come back the next week.
We different. We different. We got G14. What did Shaq say? G14 classification or certification?
Oh my God.
We got that. But speaking about Shaq, right, and LSU greats, y'all, we couldn't get out of here before shouting out the legendary Seimone Augustus.
Seimone.
Coming back to LSU to be an assistant coach under head coach Kim Mulkey. And if y'all know anything, Seimone Augustus was LSU basketball when she was in her heyday. We know what she did with the Lynx as well. When all those championships.
Theory.
I already think I'm gonna agree. Go ahead.
How many years, Terrika? Because I already know where you're going. 2 years?
Two.
Hey.
I think Kim had a contract. I think she extended her contract 3 years. I think she might have extended it 3 years. If she extended it 3 years, then it's 3. But 3 years, and we calling her head coach.
I'm aligned. I was gonna be petty and insert that when Chris was talking, but I said, let me just be chill. But you said it for me. Thanks, sis.
Sure
and
did.
Also help with recruiting, because you're losing people.
Right.
You need Seimone. That was a genius move. A genius move to really save the integrity of the program, in my opinion.
Oh. Head coach Money Moon and her Hall of Fame year is coming.
Woo. All day.